Kayaking is my thing.
Running is awesome.
But her moderate to severe eczema would make her skin so uncomfortable.
Now, I'm staying ahead of it.
Dupixent helps heal your skin from within so they can have clearer skin and less itch. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Ask your doctor about Dupixent.
Monday on ET.
We're getting in the spirit with Heidi Klum, how the Queen of Halloween plans to outworm herself.
Little hint.
Super big.
Bigger than the worm, Heidi?
And be sure to join us on Monday for that.
We'll leave you now with new music from the Rolling Stones. Take care, everybody.
Night, everybody.
The sweet sounds of heaven.
Yes, you do.
A dazzling Lady Gaga rocked out with Mick Jagger.
Happening now.
I'm Dylan Collier. Coming up, a brawl in the courtroom. A murder defendant beaten by the family of the teenager he's accused of killing. We have the incredible video.
How a courageous neighbor's quick actions essentially saved an officer's life after they had been shot. The hero's intense and critical life-saving moments up next.
No longer feeling like fall. We'll talk about the record warmth and an update on our next chance of rain. The News at 5 starts right now.
First at 5, family members of a murdered teenager accused of attacking the man on trial for it right in the middle of a Bexar County courtroom. 4 people, including 2 minors, now charged with assault as well as impeding a court proceeding after this melee in the 144th District Court. Dylan Collier live now with how this attack unfolded. Unbelievable, Dylan.
Certainly is, Ursula. This was supposed to be a routine hearing for defendant Victor Rivas, charged with killing 15-year-old Ethan Soto in May of last year. But footage shows Soto's family had other ideas this morning. Rivas, who was handcuffed and placed in the jury box, was repeatedly struck with closed fists after members of Soto's family jumped over a partition and attacked him in the jury box. Deputies said Rivas had gestured toward Soto's family after being brought into court. Rivas was charged last fall, months after San Antonio police said he killed Soto as an act of revenge for a drug robbery. Administrative Judge Ron Ronhell said these type of violent outbursts can happen from time to time.
Think about courtrooms. You're bringing in victims of violent crimes with people that are accused of committing those crimes. And so oftentimes courtrooms can become powder kegs. One little spark can ignite.
And this was certainly one of them. Rivas was checked out by paramedics at the courthouse for a facial injury. 4 people, 2 of them minors, will be charged with assault causing bodily injury and impeding a court proceeding. Both of those are Class A misdemeanor charges. Judge Ronhell confirmed Judge Michael Mary hit the panic button and left the courtroom, as he's been instructed to do during situations like this. No court staff members were hurt during the brawl. Reporting live, Dylan Collier, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you so much, Dylan. New at 5, 2 police officers who showed up during a domestic dispute call last night will both survive. And one of them may owe their life to a man's heroic actions. The man's quick thinking and courage very likely bought some life-saving time for the downed officer. Jonathan Coteau walks us through some intense moments.
In a quiet neighborhood on the city's northeast side, a typical day took an extraordinary turn when a police officer was injured in the line of duty.
The kids were all outside playing, and they were witnessing this disturbance.
San Antonio police arriving at this home on Thursday evening for reports of a domestic disturbance. Rael says he quickly ushered his kids and others into his home as police arrived.
Minutes after, we started hearing shots fired. Lots of shots.
What happened next is nothing short of miraculous.
While I was on the front porch kind of keeping an eye out, avoiding the fire, an officer just ran around the corner and said, "I need help," Immediately told me, "Reach for this tourniquet and help me put this on."
Rael, without hesitation, became a true hero.
I dropped the phone and he said, "Let's get me inside and lock the door behind me, please." I said, "Absolutely." So we came inside, I called for my wife, and we rendered aid as fast as we could.
He applied a life-saving tourniquet above the officer's gunshot wound. He says he has emergency response training, but the real-life event put his skills to the test.
Even with my training, it was slower than and more difficult than I'm used to under that kind of pressure.
Although injured, Rael says the officer remained calm and guided him through the process.
He told me what to do, and I'm glad he did it. We worked together very well. He remained calm, and it was rough, but I think everybody did a good job.
Intense moments happening on Rael's kitchen floor. His wife also playing a critical role.
She was there to give him water. She was there to help stop the bleeding, help me with the tourniquet. I have an injured foot, so it was not easy for me.
He says it took quick thinking, training, and a strong network of communication among neighbors. Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
New at 5, attorneys for the former officer accused of shooting a teen outside of a Northside McDonald's last year want that trial to be taken out of town. They asked a judge for a change of venue today. Former officer James Brennan, accused of shooting Eric Cantu a year ago. His attorneys argued that the extensive media coverage and comments made by both the police chief, William McManus, and the district attorney, Joe Gonzalez, have tainted any potential jury pool here. They say that would prevent Brennan from getting a fair trial. The next hearing is in December. If prosecutors do not respond to the motion to move the trial, a judge could grant the motion before the end of the year. A garage fire quickly getting out of control, destroying a home overnight in Kirby. Kirby firefighters initially called out for the garage fire in the 4,000 block of Corian Oak Drive off of Buzz Aldrin Drive near Loop 410. When they arrived shortly after midnight, the entire home, as you can see, was already burning. We're told 2 propane tanks were also burning. That fire so big that the Bexar County firefighters and the China Grove firefighters had to get called in to assist. Crews say no one was injured, but again, look at that home. It is a total loss. Thousands of gun safes are recalled tonight after the death of a 12-year-old boy. The popular safes may be easily opened by the wrong hands. 12 Underside's Marilyn Moritz with a recall roundup, including some kids' toys and some frozen burritos.
More than 60,000 gun safes sold at sporting goods stores are recalled after the death of a 12-year-old boy. Fortress Safe cites a programming flaw in the fingerprint reader. There are 39 reports of unregistered fingerprints opening safes. The recall covers various models and brand names: Fortress, Cabela's, Gettysburg, and Legend Range and Field.
If you have one of these gun safes, you're urged to stop using the biometrics and contact the manufacturer for a replacement. We have more details on our website.
More than 10,000 pounds of convenience store burritos are recalled because they may be contaminated with listeria. Dallas-based Don Miguel is recalling individually wrapped frozen carne asada burritos. The date code is D23270. Take it back or throw it out. Parent alert! Safety regulators warn stop using this bassinet. It's the 5-in-1 rocker bassinet sold at Walmart.com and other websites. It does not meet safety standards, and babies are at risk of suffocation. And stop the train. Fisher-Price is recalling 21,000 Thomas & Friends troublesome trucks. The trouble? The plastic piece that connects the cars can come off, and a child could choke on or swallow the high-powered magnet. Contact the company for a refund. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
2 Americans from Illinois held hostage by Hamas in the Gaza Strip are coming home. They are among the approximately 200 hostages being held since the invasion and attack on Israel on October 7th. ABC's Inez de la Catera is in Jerusalem with more on why they were freed.
The Israel Defense Force has confirmed to ABC News that 2 Americans, a mother and a daughter, who were being held hostage by Hamas, have been released and are currently with the Red Cross. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visiting with IDF soldiers as the Israel Defense Forces prepare for a ground invasion against Hamas militants in Gaza. Israel continuing its armed response for the terror attack by Hamas militants. At least 1,400 Israelis were killed in the massacre.
They can't even identify the bodies. It's so bad.
The IDF says Hamas took more than 200 people hostage. Families of some of those hostages traveling to the Red Cross in Geneva, pleading for help.
Any civilized country should put as much pressure as they can for the release of the hostages.
In an address last night, President Biden saying America stands firmly with Israel as well as Ukraine, two U.S. allies at war.
We're facing an inflection point in history. If we walk away from Ukraine, if we turn our backs on Israel, it's just not worth it.
Meanwhile, Israeli airstrikes into Gaza continue. The Hamas-run Palestinian Health Ministry says more than 3,700 people in Gaza have been killed, millions displaced from their homes, trapped without food, water, medicine, or electricity.
And we went to the hospital. They were bombing above our heads. We were just terrified. We didn't know if we will reach the place safely or not.
Pro-Palestinian protests growing around the world. Thousands taking to the streets in Yemen, Egypt, Iraq, and elsewhere, demanding a ceasefire in Israel's assault.
The barbaric attack by Hamas need to be condemned. But I've also said they cannot be a pretext for a collective punishment of the Palestinian people.
The IDF says the two hostages released were received at the border of the Gaza Strip, then taken to a military base at the center of the country where their families were waiting for them. Inez de la Cuetara, ABC News, Jerusalem.
The third time was not the charm for the U.S. A secret ballot vote happening today on Capitol Hill. And now the public knows that Jim Jordan has lost again. He is reportedly out of the race to become Speaker of the House now. But a few Texas congressmen are now throwing their hats into the ring. During this vote, Jordan actually lost more votes than he did yesterday. 25 members of the GOP voted against him. Republicans now back to square one. But this afternoon, we're learning 3 Texas representatives say they want the job. The Texas Tribune reporting that Pete Sessions of Waco, Jody Arrington of Lubbock, and Roger Williams of Willow Park are all making a bid for the gavel. House Republicans say there's a possibility that a new candidate for Speaker will emerge next week and that there could possibly be a vote scheduled for as early as this coming Tuesday. Taking a look outside on this Friday afternoon. This is Highway 90 at Nogalitos. Don't see any problems here. Looks like everybody here is heading home in time.
Record-breaking day here in San Antonio. The average high is 81. The record's 92. We made it to 94, so a record by 2 degrees today. You look at the high temperatures across the area. Del Rio, a record at 97. Austin, a record at 98. We were in the 90s pretty much all across the board, feeling the not-so-fall-like temperatures. 91 in Talia's backyard in Eagle Pass. Floresville, 95, along with Panna Maria. Leon Springs, 94. Windcrest at 88, that's the exception. Lavernia, 95, along with Mico. We're feeling the warmth out there. Now, temperatures will drop quickly this evening and very efficiently, but it's going to stay unseasonably warm. I mean, we're going from the 90s down into the 80s, 7 o'clock, 88, and then 9 o'clock, upper 70s at 78 degrees. We have some more record warmth to talk about, along with a shift in our pattern, Hurricane Norma, and what it means for our rain chances. We'll talk about the most likely day for rain in a bit, Ursula.
All right, Adam, thank you. Still ahead, finding a treatment and ultimately a cure for liver cancer. This event happening right here in San Antonio. It's bringing the country's top doctors and researchers to help.
The decorative skulls you see everywhere during Day of the Dead are called calaveras, and the most popular calaveras originated with a political cartoonist and printmaker, José Guadalupe Posada. Born in 1852, Posada lived through some of Mexico's most turbulent times, and his first political cartoons were published when he was just a teenager. They were so successful they forced a governor out of office, but Posada's new enemies forced him to flee town. In 1888, he moved to Mexico City, and in the following years, he helped publish tens of thousands of illustrated flyers, or volantes. These single-page tabloids were like our late-night talk shows. They were filled with biting political humor, and at a time when few could read, Posada's calaveras became popular throughout Mexico. So popular, many believe he raised the country's political consciousness. And when the Mexican Revolution was just beginning, Posada published what would become his most famous image, La Catrina. At the time, many of Mexico's ruling class were obsessed with acting and looking European. To mock them, Posada put a fancy French hat on the Aztecs' female god of death. His statement, rich or poor, we all die. Death is the great equalizer. As far as Posada, he died poor and mostly forgotten in 1913. But in the following decades, his influence on the great artists of Mexico became undeniable. Today, many consider Posada the father of modern Mexican art, and La Catrina has become the icon of Day of the Dead.
I'm Myra Arthur here in the newsroom, and here's what we're working on for the news at 6 o'clock on this Friday. Domestic and family violence calls, some of the most dangerous for San Antonio police officers to respond to. The 2 SAPD officers shot yesterday are just one example of that. Coming up at 6, KSAT Investigates looks into how many of these calls are happening across our city. Plus, a train causing traffic headaches and some public safety concerns, but apparently there is a solution coming soon, an overpass. We'll tell you how the construction is going and how it will impact West Side businesses and homeowners. And 2 years of prolonged drought have certainly taken a toll on local trees, but could that affect the fall foliage this year? Meteorologist Mia Montgomery has the latest from the Texas A&M Forest Service. That and more coming your way in less than an hour on the news at 6.
Thank you, Myra. In your local headlines, healthcare experts from all around the country in San Antonio to discuss emerging new research in the fight against liver cancer. The Mays Cancer Center at UT Health San Antonio hosting this 3rd annual San Antonio Liver Cancer Symposium. It was at the Hilton San Antonio Hill Country. Experts say that San Antonio is a relevant backdrop for this event because liver cancer affects so many patients in San Antonio and South Texas. One goal of the symposium is for doctors to share what they've seen while treating their patients for the disease and then hear what's new in treatment. And screening remains a key factor.
Unfortunately, liver cancer can be silent without any symptoms, but screening is very important. There are certain risk factors like hepatitis, someone who has alcohol intake, or fatty liver, which is on the rise. And so there is liver screening that can be done regularly to catch cancer early and prevent it.
October is National Liver Cancer Awareness Month, and this event is serving as a reminder to the community to learn the risks, learn about prevention, screening, and treatment for this disease. We're looking outside and we are seeing a very warm day for this time of the year. But it was downright chilly this morning, Adam. What a swing in temperatures.
Oh, big swing in temperatures. I showed you those highs. We got into the 90s. 94 the high temperature here in San Antonio. Del Rio got up to 97. I mean, nothing we haven't dealt with, but it is record-breaking for this time of year, and it's not as fall-like as it used to be. This is what we're planning for tomorrow. Another morning right near 60 degrees, and by the afternoon, back up into the 90s. 93 San Antonio and Pleasanton, 92 Uvalde, Del Rio up to 95. So a very similar Saturday as to what we had today and still what we have out there. By Sunday, we trim back a little bit because of extra clouds. Some morning fog on Sunday, some thicker clouds above us as well. So 86 degrees, but you'll notice the humidity back in place on Sunday. Saturday, at least we won't have the stickiness, kind of like now, but by Sunday it's back and it lasts through all of next week. Not only that, temperatures do fall about 10 degrees into next week. It will be in the lower 80s, but that's also a result of extra clouds, and with it comes a shot at some rain. So let's talk about our weather pattern. We've got the upper level high planted overhead, the heat high pushing down on us. Hello, record high temperatures right now. And that's going to be moving to the southeast. Right now, it's slowing the progression of Hurricane Norma in the Pacific. This is headed toward Cabo San Lucas. It's a Category 3 hurricane right now. It's going to continue tracking northward ever so slowly and then weaken over the weekend as it moves into western Mexico. But the key is here, the leftovers, the remnants of Norma, mainly mid and upper level energy and moisture. That's going to be thrown over Texas, and I do think we'll be able to tap into some of that, particularly on Monday. And our futurecast is even indicating that some scattered areas of rain on Monday. And then we get into a weather pattern next week where we will have more chances. We just don't have very high chances right now. Our confidence is pretty low in terms of our neck of the woods in Texas to see a whole lot of rain. So 40% chance on Monday. Then The rest of the week, we're basically at a 30% chance. So isolated in nature in terms of those rain chances. This is a total shift in our weather pattern. It's not going to feel like fall. Sticky humidity is going to return as well. So it's going to feel, of course, more spring and early summer like. Dewies right now, the dew points, 30s and 40s. Crisp in terms of lack of humidity. It's a dry heat, right? And that changes. Notice our dew point trend still on the low end tomorrow, but then the humidity, you're going to feel it Sunday morning, and it especially spikes next week with dew points well into the 60s, even right near 70 degrees. So that humidity is going to be back again starting on Sunday. That it's here to stay for a while. We'll need another cold front to sweep it away. Right now, that's not in sight. Notice those morning temperatures back into the low 70s next week. You don't need your sweatshirt.
All right, Adam, thank you so much, and we'll be right back with sports.
Still the same game we've been playing all year. The only implication, I guess, is, you lose, you go home.
Yeah, and Josh Young and the Rangers don't want to go home anytime soon in big board sports. The big game and big game coverage tonight will have the Bernie champion Chargers hosting the Smithson Valley Rangers in a huge District 12-5A1 contest with just 3 weeks left in the regular season. Entering tonight, the Chargers are 6-1 overall, 3-1 in district. The Rangers are also 6-1 on the season, but they're 4-0 in district and sitting in first place, making them the team to beat.
I know they're a good team. They have a lot of playmakers, but I know we're a good team who also has playmakers.
Through watching film, we can tell they're a really good team, and this game is huge to winning district, which is one of our goals. So
they got a lot of good athletes, and they've just had a record of being great overall, and they're probably the biggest opponent we have to face, so we have to put our heads down and work.
They're a good team. We respect them a lot, but like I said, we can play with anyone. We're going to prepare this week, do our best, and we'll be ready by Friday night.
And Friday night is here. Smithson Valley and Bernie Champion is our game of the week. Highlights and post on the Night Beat. And the road trip tonight will see Wimberley visit Navarro High School in Geronimo. And the last stop has Seguin at New Braunfels Canyon. Mary Rominger will have more with the Navarro Panthers coming up at 6. The San Antonio Spurs will close out the preseason tonight at the Golden State Warriors, and then on Wednesday, the Silver and Black will tip off the regular season at home with the Dallas Mavericks. All eyes are on Wemby, and it's just the preseason. Imagine what the regular season will be like. So, yeah, Wemby gets a lot of attention on the court as well, and that will only make things easier for his teammates, says Devin Vassell.
100%. He opens the floor for a lot of us. I keep talking to him about us just trying to make the game easier for him and him making the game easier for us. So, we're going to be in conversations all the time about it, but the presence that he has on the court, you got to be aware. You got to send a double or it's going to be a bucket every time.
Dubs will host the Spurs tonight at 9, and the Spurs say everyone is available. In baseball, ALCS Game 5, it's going down right now, and the Astros lead the Rangers 1-0 in the top of the 5th at last check. That series is tied at 2-2. We'll be right back after the break.
If you missed it yesterday, here's the newest drought monitor. It's updated every Thursday. Still not a good situation around here in the extreme and exceptional drought. At least a good chunk of Texas will get rain next week.
Thank you, Adam, and thank you for watching the News at 5. World News is next.